Hello, Cancer. It's Haley with Tarot from Beyond, here to provide you with your October general reading 2018. Very interested to know what Spirit has to tell us now for the month of October. I want you to think of October as the 10th month in the year. And 10 is 1 plus 0, which represents new beginnings. Like we've been talking about this whole time. So, Cancer, I'd like to see what a lot of your new beginnings are looking like. Many of you are starting to already feel the effects of your new beginnings. And so this should resonate with those of you who are moving into that space. I see my angel candle is not lit. Give me a moment. So, many of you are realizing that you're walking into new beginnings. You guys are starting to chill out a little bit more. I know you guys are. I know you guys are. Because the new beginning is starting to show its face. It's starting to seep into your heart and your mind, and you're starting to feel it. It's becoming a part of you. Because you have cooperated with the process. And so I know for a fact that this is going to resonate with many of you because Spirit knows what Spirit's doing. And as I've said before on several readings, you know, it's my voice you're hearing. However, it is Spirit that is speaking. So with that being said, my Cancer, let's begin. Lovely, Cancer. All right, so what I'm seeing, my loves, and let's do this so that you guys can see the cards as I see them. Okay. I'm seeing that many of you are focusing on making sure that you keep your shadow side in check with regards to whomever it is that you're dealing with, whomever it is, whatever the situation is that you are exiting. You are keeping your shadow side in check. You are focused. You are focused. You're not turning your head to the left or to the right. You are focused on making sure that you keep your behavior in check. Because you know what you want and you know what's coming. And you're starting to now focus more. See, this card represents focus. Because if you look at this card is an individual that's driving basically a car, right? And when you're in a car, you must remain focused. You must remain focused in a car when you're going anywhere. And you guys are focused. Focused. Focused on your happy family. And if you notice, the number on top is 10 as well. That represents completion and new beginnings as well. And then you pull the 9 of Pentacles. What you'll be doing in this next journey come October is working toward the 10 of Pentacles, because you will start to see your financial independence and your self-mastery come to fruition. You're starting to see it. You may not see it right now, but you know it's coming. And I feel that you guys are allowing yourself to chill, get the rest you need, relax, know that all is well. I have a feeling that you guys are just focused and focusing on your happy families, focusing on your financial independence and self-mastery, focusing on the nurturing aspect of yourself and being nurturing toward others, and not losing the ability to give and take due to the fact that you've been in relationships with people who bring things like that to the table. We all know the devil represents some form of enslavement. And as you see, it's the last card. It goes this way. This is going out. This is what's coming in. This is what's coming in, and this is what's going out. What's going in, what's coming in is your ability to focus on controlling your behavior no matter what comes your way, Cancer. You are now focusing on knowing that happiness is in your hands and not in the hands of others. And I'm doing some numerology right now. Give me a moment. Some of you may be dealing with a Gemini. Okay? Ending a relationship with a Gemini. And you're now focusing on yourself and your family. And you're not going to lose anything that you ought not lose. Because the universe ain't going to let that happen. See, your spirit guides, ascended masters, and angels have been working their butts off for you behind the scenes. So please thank them. Thank them very much, because you pulled this Nine of Pentacles, and this represents self-mastery and independence. Financial independence. And you're going to remain nurturing despite what you've been through, because you know that one person is not the representative of everybody. You've learned that lesson. Let me close this front door so you guys don't hear all that noise outside. Give me a moment. You realize, okay, the Queen of Pentacles is a very nurturing person. Very nurturing person. And it's very easy to lose that quality when you feel that it continues to put you in a position to be hurt. But you know that you're not going to let one rotten apple spoil the bunch. That's what you're learning. And that's what everything that you experienced in previous months when things seemed really difficult and it seemed like they were just out of control, out of your hands, and just like everything felt like it was just, oh, wow, this is like too much. You had to go through that in order for you to learn what you learned. And you've also learned to make sure that you hold on to knowing how that give and take works in relationships. You know how to say no now to people who only take and don't give. Where there's no fair exchange at all in that matter. Cancer, this is a beautiful reading in that I see that come October, you know, everything that you have been envisioning for yourself, for those of you who have been focusing on what it is that you want. For those of you who have been focusing on what you ought to be focusing on rather than these negative energies around you trying to do what they're trying to do. And it's fruitless what they're doing. It just aggravates. And as long as we're paying attention to the aggravation, we're not paying attention to that self-mastery, and we're not paying attention to that financial independence. And that's exactly their goal. Some of you may also be dealing with the Capricorn as well, okay? I'm seeing Capricorn and Gemini here. You know, Scorpio or Libra. But it doesn't matter the sign. It really doesn't. What matters is that many of you Cancer are well on your way to bliss. And this card, I feel, only popped up to remind you that while you exit this journey that you were in and enter into the journey you're going into, this card only popped up to remind you to be careful of what you allow yourself to be shackled to. Be careful of what you allow yourself to be shackled to and who you allow yourself to be shackled to. That is what you learned. Let's talk more, Cancer. Because you're holding the King of Cups energy, baby. Cancer, it is well known with all of us tarot readers that Cancers are the most loving zodiac. You represent the loving aspect of all humanity. That encompasses us all. And love is the strongest vibration. It leaves a sweet scent in the universe's nostrils. Seriously, it leaves a wonderful taste in its mouth. Love. That despite what you experienced, despite what you felt that you had to fight to get out of, despite what you recently experienced, despite it all, look at what you still have. Love and nurturing attributes. They haven't gone away. They've gotten stronger, as a matter of fact. And that was the whole point. That was the whole point of everything that you had experienced recently. And you know how you were able to do that, my Cancers? Because you're strong like that. You're strong like that. You pulled the Strength card, and it's a major arcana. It took strength for you to get out of this cycle and into the new one that you are going to be entering into. Don't forget, full moon, Monday the 24th. Continue to set your intentions with this new journey you're going into. Start sending your prayers up as to what it is you don't want to deal with. And what gifts it is that you would like the universe to provide you with, so that you are able to identify things much easier in the future, so that you don't have to spend too much time learning a lesson that could be learned in 2.2 seconds, so that you can get to your new journey and you don't have to repeat cycles. I mean, you're pulling the King of Cups, strength, financial independence, self-mastery. You haven't lost the ability to give and take, to give to other people. Even though the last relationship that you were in was with someone who did nothing but take, you still did not lose your ability to know how to give. As a matter of fact, it taught you more about the meaning of give and take. Because in closing out this journey, we now realize that there are people who play mind games and who love to play mind games. And as long as they're able to play mind games with you, it creates a distraction toward what it is that you ought to be focusing on, which is you, your children, if you have them, and your loved ones who deserve your attention. See, people who play mind games ought to be left to their own devices so that they can learn that that's not the way to get anywhere. They may get some temporary gratification out of it. However, at the end of the day, come harvest time, they certainly will not be happy. So Cancer, what I'm seeing is that there's still some anger associated with these people who played mind games with you. However, don't forget the Chariot card, okay? Keep your ego in check. Keep what you have to say to these people in check. Because what you say is not going to raise their IQ. What's going to raise their IQ is the work they put into themselves. So don't be angry. Thank the universe for these tests, because it's through these tests that your spirit is being perfected. And see, when people play mind games and make you angry, it starts to play with your fate. Because depending on the way that you respond, it could easily change your fate. It could easily slow down the process for you getting out of a bad situation. So think along the lines of cooperating with the universe so that October is that month where you actually begin to see. You're able to see those tangible things that you have manifested by getting people out of your life that do not belong. And you've got the Ace of Wands, my loves. That means come October, for those of you who have been having a hard time finding work, or for those of you who are working somewhere where you're completely miserable, things are going to change for you. Believe it. You better believe it. Some of you are allowing yourself to breathe now, because the storm is over. It's calming down. Those big old, balls of hell that were falling down and cracking windows and creating all of this destruction in your mind, Now the storm is subsiding and you're starting to realize, what was I worried about in the first place? So in closing you out, my loves, continue to focus on what it is you're building, whether it be your spiritual development, whether it be your own business, whatever it is. Figure out what your creative abilities are. And for those of you who do not know what your spiritual gifts are, that's what my Akashic Records reading will provide you with. I can tell you what your spiritual gift is, or gifts are. I will tell you what your strengths are in each house and what spirit recommends that you do in each house. And I will also describe your life's path to you and let you know if there's any time-sensitive information that you ought to know. I tell you what you need to know. Whereas some Akashic Records readers, and I have nothing against any of them, I've seen many of them myself and have learned a lot from them. However, the thing about the Akasha is that many people don't know what to ask. So the Akashic Records reader only answers the questions that you ask. But see, I tell you what you need to know. This is Spirit speaking to me, letting me know that this is your message of information. And this card also reminds you that you do have a choice to make. Either to go that way or this way. Some people believe that this card means that you're unable to make a decision. Unable to make a decision because of the crossing of the hands. That's not how I see it at all. Because with all that water behind her, that represents love and it represents healing. That means that you have two choices to make. And swords represent thought. And you know what those two choices are. So with that being said, my Cancer, allow yourself to rest and know that the storm is calming down and you're getting ready to walk into a very new you. And no, it was not easy. However, we all hung in there. And I'm telling you right now, I know a lot of you are just breathing and you guys are allowing yourself more rest. You guys are probably exhausted and have been sleeping a lot. And I understand that because we just came out of a very intense time. For those of you interested in a private reading, you may contact me at tarotreadingsfrombeyond@gmail.com. I also embed my website into the description area of each reading. And so with that being said, my lovely Cancer, everything is working out. Everything is in divine order. Your spirit guides, ascended masters, and those working behind the scenes on your behalf have been working just so that you can relax now and know that all is well. Okay, Cancer? I will talk to you soon. Namaste.